Alright, wanted to do a, I guess, day 2 recap on my crossbow siege Cascade guy. Just kind of cover stuff that I tried during yesterday's gaming and like things that I thought would maybe be good and then weren't, or things that were good and like that. Um, One of the main big things I tried yesterday, because I was just curious of how it would work, was I abandoned all of my ES nodes and like all ES stuff entirely and switch to using the deepest tower crown, which gives you enemies in your presence count as being on low life, and then you can get a bunch of damage nodes for like low life, and it's basically you get a ton of damage and you lose defense. And I knew I would lose. I lose basically all my energy shield. Um, and I gained a little bit of life doing it, but I actually lost a decent amount of evasion, which I didn't think was going to be the case. Like, yeah, I got rid of some ES evasion nodes, but I had a better evasion chest. The evasion actually went down like a fair bit from that, and I do think if you wanted to like do a build like this and actually farm higher level pinnacle bosses, it's probably better to just do a version with the deepest tower just because more damage on those bosses tends to matter more than defense. And it is a lot more damage. Like it's over 2 times as much damage. And I had actually made a full setup and then went to anoint this node finality, which is another 120% increased damage for 1 point. Except for you can't anoint this for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. Like all these other nodes around it, you can anoint them just fine. This one just doesn't have a combination to anoint. So I actually was missing some damage, but it was impressive. It does a lot of damage. But then I decided ultimately I wanted to go back to my setup. I like this character for doing maps, and I like the ES evasion setup better for mapping. The one thing that's struggling to solve is my energy shield when I'm mapping can sometimes be like very low and it just like struggle to get it filled back up. And then it's like I'm running around for a while, especially if there's like burning ground or something where I can't get my recharge to go off because I keep dipping my toe in some burning ground. But I'll be sitting at like very low to no ES, and then it's like, okay, well, and I might die. Well, I died because I just couldn't get my ES back. But it's tough. It's one of the things that I've realized is a issue with the build, especially, is like that, and a big part of it is ghost dance. The ghost shrouds is like one of the more reliable ways to get some ES back. When you hit whatever. But the way ghost shrouds as a skill works, the delay in between getting your ghost shrouds back is based on your skill effect duration. And the whole point of this character is I scale a ton of skill effect duration. Like I have fast forward in for less, but if I take this out, I'm actually like more than doubling the delay. Like this would probably be like 2.2 seconds or 2.3 seconds or something between ghost shrouds on a normal build that's not scaling duration. So just something I found didn't even think about, but if you want to go ES evasion, you and you wanted to make it like tankier for like hardcore, right? It's all core, this is all fine. But if you're trying to do like a hardcore character, you kind of can't play a character that scales a bunch of duration because it completely messes with your ghost stance. That was a thing. Aside from that, just kind of tried optimizing stuff a bit more. I don't know if I changed much on this tree from the start of yesterday. Maybe very slightly. But overall, I think it's more or less the same passive tree. I did switch some gem stuff around. I took out the fire exposure from my Siege Cascade and got a 6-link cast on Ignite. So now my cast on Ignite casts Contagion, which consumes Ignites. But then it's also casting Solar Orb, which is guaranteed to Ignite, and that's where my fire exposure is. Now I was able to put, for now I just have Execute back in. Maybe there's something better. I should probably look at that some more. I also took out Magnified Effect for mapping. Instead, I'm using Acceleration, which makes the projectiles land a lot faster, and I put the Magnified Effect into my Herald of Ash. That's cool. Um, Otherwise, I think it's pretty much the same. I got some random gear pieces. I added some more random supports to like my auras that don't really do all that much. Oh, and I'm self-casting a flammability because I got another unset ring, or I had one already. I don't remember, but I have a self-casted flammability, and I'm wearing 2 unset rings. I don't remember if I had that already. Let me find a map. Go kill some boss or something. Sure. See if I can find a boss that's like augury. Sure. I just want to find one that's not like super amped up. Because the build is, it's really fun mapping. I like it a lot mapping. But then like you run into pinnacles and it's like, oh wow, I feel like I'm doing no damage. It's this very weird thing with like this build in particular where when you fight tankier mobs, like if a mob has twice as much health, it takes you more than twice as long to kill it because it also means that they have like a way higher ailment threshold or whatever you'd call it for pin, where they're harder to pin. And when they're pinned, you do more damage. When they're not pinned, you do less damage. So if they have twice as much health, now I'll come back and do that later, maybe. Actually, that strong box kind of sucks. If they have twice as much health, you're actually also doing straight up less DPS. So it's like, the other downfall to the build besides that defensive thing with the ES is that as stuff gets really, really tanky, you just straight up lose a bunch of damage. But I wanted to do a completely unjuiced. This is a just tier 15 map boss. This does have all the map boss difficulty on, so the boss should have like I don't know, 4.5 million health, 5 million, whatever it gets to. And like on this, it should die really fast. The damage will look really good, and then you'd be like, dang, this thing does big damage. But then if I was to bring it against like an arbiter fight, it would look quite a bit different. So I can drop my totems. They're gonna probably pin them on their own, and then I just hit the button of reload. Oh, he actually killed my totems. That's okay. He just dies, and also he doesn't move. Like, it does a lot of damage, right? But if I think on a boss like that, it's about 1,000,000 DPS, maybe a little bit more even. If I go fight a pinnacle boss, I'm doing probably like 1/3 of that. Just because they're so much harder to CC. This map's not really a great one to show off the clear because you know it's augury, but like I think I've basically just accepted that, at least for the way I want to play it and the way I've set it up, it's just a mapping build, and that's fine. It's fun. I'm actually enjoying having like a solid, just kind of easy brain off mapper, because like the bulk of the mapping is literally just run around and you hit Siege Cascade. Like it's actually just one button esque. I do have to hit my mana flasks occasionally now because of the solar orb in the cast on ignite actually eats up some mana. I could fix that. I'm fairly positive by getting a jewel with like 1 or 2% whatever it is mana on kill. I haven't bothered doing that yet. I should maybe try that today. That'd be a good thing. Otherwise, the future plans. I want to try some other reservation skills. I want to drop Combat Frenzy and Charge Infusion and maybe put in Blink plus Convalescence. Convalescence is like the one thing that could help a lot on ES, but I just don't have room for it. I don't really, I don't know. But I could put Convalescence plus Blink. I would lose DPS, but then I can Blink and my ES sustain will be higher. I think there was a way where maybe I could fit Convalescence plus Trinity. I just don't like Trinity that much when you do one element. It's like 11% more damage for 100 base Spirit Reservation. There's also this like Elemental Convergence. I don't know what it's actually called. I didn't even realize existed. Conflux, where it like gives a big boost to one element randomly. If you averaged it out, this is better average than Trinity, but the 8 seconds in between just seems too long. Like if it was like 4 seconds shuffles, I would totally just put that in, and it's like, hey, I hope I'm on fire when I fight a tanky mob. But 8 seconds is too long on that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm probably just gonna keep grinding and mapping and pumping stupider and stupider gear into this character because why not? It's fun. But it's definitely mostly just like a vibing mapping build that's not like particularly insanely OP or anything for just overall, especially compared to like the top skills in the current state of the game. But it's been fun. It's cool. Um, and I think that's everything. Just a little quick update, day 2, fun stuff. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See ya.